He wanted an open relationship for himself. Am I the a-hole for ending my relationship after my boyfriend admitted he wanted to sleep with other women? I had been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, and from early on, we both agreed that marriage was the goal. A few months ago, I moved in because we had both agreed that getting engaged was the next step. We even picked out the ring together. He bought it. The ring was sitting in our apartment. He had already told his friends and family that we were shopping for a ring and getting engaged. Everything seemed to be moving exactly the way we'd planned. Then one night, everything changed. Out of nowhere, he admitted he wasn't sure he was ready for engagement or marriage. Naturally, I asked why. One of his reasons completely stunned me. He said he was worried he hadn't slept with enough women. He even admitted it sounded like a dumb reason. Then he actually told me he'd probably regret losing me over it, which was supposedly why he hadn't cheated on me, as if I was supposed to be grateful for that. Then he dropped 2 more bombs. He said, "I don't see us getting engaged in the foreseeable future. And they say when you know, and I'm not sure you're the one." Then somehow it got even worse. He suggested ethical non-monogamy. At first, I panicked. I even said I'd consider it because I still wanted the future we'd planned together. He's been a good partner in a lot of ways, and in that moment I was desperate not to lose the relationship. But after I had time to think, everything became clear. I left the next day and stayed with family so I could process everything without him trying to change my mind. The more I thought about it, the more obvious it became. If he's this unsure after 2 years, what exactly is another week supposed to change? What happens years from now if we have kids and suddenly he decides he wants more experiences again? Would I always wonder if he settled for me? Would I always remember him saying I wasn't the one? I realized something. I don't want someone who marries me because they're afraid of losing me. I want someone who's excited to marry me. Someone who's absolutely certain. And deep down, I knew staying would just be settling. Oddly enough, after the initial sadness wore off, I actually started feeling excited. Because leaving this relationship meant I was finally making room for someone who truly wanted the same future I did. I just needed to stay strong enough not to fall for the speech I knew was coming. I had a feeling the second he realized I was serious, he'd suddenly be ready to propose. But that's not the proposal I wanted. Before we get to what happened next, make sure you follow for more videos posted daily. Update: a few days later, I ended things before I even went back to the apartment. I realized I needed to schedule the move out with the building anyway, and he'd find out automatically. So I called him. I told him we wanted different things. I thanked him for being honest, and I said this was the best chance for both of us to find what we actually wanted. He was shocked. He asked questions, but I never wavered. My mom came with me a few days later in a U-Haul so I wouldn't have to be alone while packing. Some of the comments really helped me stay confident. One person said, "What would change if he gave you the ring now? He'd still be exactly the same guy." They were right. Even if he proposed, I'd always remember everything he'd said. Another commenter pointed out that I'd never look at him the same after hearing him casually suggest sleeping with other people while expecting me to stay. I completely agreed. Another person wondered if he'd already cheated because of how suddenly everything changed. Honestly, I have no idea. But after everything he admitted, it honestly didn't matter anymore. One commenter said something that really stuck with me. They predicted that after a few months, once he realized dating wasn't as easy as he imagined, he'd probably come back. I laughed, but I also knew I wasn't taking him back. Then I shared one detail I'd almost forgotten. He actually wanted an ethical, non-monogamous relationship, where only he got to sleep with other people. He admitted he wouldn't be okay with me seeing other men. That should have ended the relationship immediately. Instead, it just took me a little longer because my emotions got in the way. But once I processed it, there was no coming back from that. Update: 9 days later, I officially moved out. Surprisingly, the move itself went well. He even helped pack boxes and gave me some expensive things we bought together. But eventually we ended up alone. And just like everyone predicted, he gave the speech. He told me he loved me, that I was his favorite person, that he didn't want to lose me, that the week without talking to me had been incredibly hard. I listened. Then I calmly told him we simply wanted different things. He tried to argue. He said our goals weren't really that different. I said our timelines were. He disagreed with that too. So I reminded him, we're both in our 30s, we've been together for 2 years, and he still believes he needs more experiences. Meaning, he wants to sleep with more women. I'm simply not willing to wait around while someone decides whether I'm enough. I want someone who already knows. He admitted he'd thought about making some huge romantic gesture to stop me from leaving, but said it wouldn't be right because he was still uncertain. Then he said something that confirmed I'd made the right decision. He told me he was going to try to get this out of his system. He even warned me not to be surprised if he contacted me later to try getting back together. That was all the confirmation I needed. We both cried. It was sad. We'd shared 2 good years together. He wasn't an evil person. He'd done a lot of thoughtful things throughout our relationship. But kindness isn't enough if someone isn't sure they want the same future. Now I'm staying with family while I get settled. I'm going to take a little time before dating again. Not because I regret leaving, but because I want to heal properly. I'm grateful he was honest. His honesty made the decision obvious. Instead of spending years wondering whether he truly wanted me, I get the chance to find someone who absolutely does. So tell me, am I the a-hole